Hello. I don't know how loud that was or if my microphone is actually close enough to my mouth today. Maybe, maybe not. I guess we'll see. Uh, yeah, I've heard is a lot of fun, but I also have no idea what I'm supposed to expect from this game. Is it kind of quiet? I'm so sorry. Everybody always tells me that my microphone is like super quiet, but like I have it up so loud. Like it's cranked almost all the way to max. So you may just have to deal with it, and I may have to figure it out some time. I mean, I guess I should actually probably figure out why my microphone sucks balls, but you know. Um, hello, Pat, and hello, Mel, and hello, Hades, hello, everyone. It's going good. It's going. It's giving. It's doing. Um, Sorry in advance to everybody for not aligning all of my little windows on my layout correctly, because I know apparently that was bothering the shit out of some people, but we're all in this together and have to deal with it. Thank you, Mal, for gifting me this game. I don't know anything about it. I think maybe once a really long time ago I watched like PewDiePie or someone play through part of it, but I know nothing about it. I will say I did boot up the game just to check the settings and like volume levels and stuff, and it asked me to set the time. And I did the first time, and then when I was booting it up to get to this title screen, it asked me to set the time again. So I set the time again, and I got some kind of message being like, "Thank you for actually paying attention and setting the time." And I don't know if that is relevant or not, or means anything at all, but that's the thing. Um, so yeah, I hope everyone's having a pleasant evening. I'm gonna shut the fuck up and start this game now. There's multiple endings and fake out endings, so if it resets, don't freak out. Well, I'm totally gonna freak out. I'll try not to freak out as much, but I'm definitely gonna freak out. Okay. Start the game. Penis. Why did I say that like beater? I don't know. Let's see what happens.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I'll say y'all gotta tell me if the volume on the game is
Stanley
okay.
worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
What if I don't get up? If I just stay here? Guess I'm alright. Nuts. I interact with them. I have to learn. What if I just don't leave the office? What if I just stay in here? Cool. Stay in the broom closet? Where's the broom closet? Guessing not in the office. Then capitalism.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Already
Stanley
won.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
That mug says who farted. I want that. Number 1. Hello? What the fuck?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Is this narrator actually giving me sass for investigating? Fucking rude. Hello, Bit. How are you doing? Finally get to see my stream. You will not be impressed, I can promise you that much, but I'm happy to have you here. Also, hello, Drew. I am doing well. Happy Tuesday to you. And hello, Pacifist. Capitalism has never lost, as far as I'm aware. Why can't I open any of these fucking doors? I want to go in places and do things.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Well, obviously.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, he's kind of fucking rude, I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's not letting me live my best life. Oh, hell yeah.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
What's wrong with that?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Hi, I love you, gotta feed the animals. Yes, feed the animals.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
Why is this guy
It's
so rude to
possible
me?
that this is why everyone left.
You have stream lag? Oh no. I hope that that's not on mine.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
I don't want to do that. This guy's being rude as hell. I'm not gonna do anything he's telling me to do. Going here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I am Forrest. How are you? Do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop. Now I'll continue. I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. Checking out Stanley's ultra terrible. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death. Hell yeah.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
Yeah, I did.
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Thank you. Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. So... Don't...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was
Jump
not
off
the
the
correct
thing.
way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew
Is
it
what I've
perfectly
learned.
well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I do, and you're gonna give me shit
Wow.
for doing it.
Yes, this room. But
Bye.
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Still not doing it. Okay. Back
Stanley
to
was
where
so
I was.
bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh. Okay, maybe don't jump off at this time.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who's her?
This
Who
is
is
it,
she?
Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
This guy is gonna be our enemy eventually. Maybe. Possibly. Never know. Oh god, it's all black. Ugh.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
What if I just don't, though? I feel like there can't possibly be a penalty for not picking. I feel like the phone won't stop ringing if I just don't pick it. Oh, can I unplug the phone?
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him.
I didn't pick up the phone, I unplugged the phone.
But with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone.
Oh, I haven't
He's
played
taken
this.
to his
Also, hi,
apartment
Fresh.
where he finds his
How's
wife,
it going?
and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect
Came
course of
for the
action.
milk, stayed for
How
the
is that even
farts.
possible?
I thought you
None of
stayed
these
for the
decisions
bags.
were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Man, pretty gross.
I can't believe I was so mistaken.
The
This is
two
why
things
you've been
could be
able to make correct and incorrect
Fair.
choices. And to
Also,
think
thank
I've
you
been
so
letting
much
you
for the
run
sub. I
around in
appreciate
this
it.
game for so long. If you'd made
I
any
got
more
distracted
wrong choices, you
because
might have
you said not
negated it
bags.
entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't
is
have
this guy
that kind
gonna
of risk
lecture?
on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For
Hi,
example,
Viscount.
in this scenario,
Nice to see you
a
again.
hypothetical real person named Rupert has
And
a
hello,
choice.
PTK.
He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all
Yeah, he
people.
could.
Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read.
That's me.
Which
I
choice
forget how
would
to
you
read.
make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
What does back, sack, and crack mean?
Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less?
Probably
And
less.
finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space,
Pink
your
stuff.
thoughts and problems are materially insignificant. And
I
the
do want to
feeling
know,
should
M-Force.
subside. At this time, your instructor will
Somebody
guide you in an
explain
exercise
back,
to
sack, and
test
crack
and
to me.
reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction.
Oh.
But not to worry. Now that you're properly
Wow.
informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago.
It really
and see
has.
what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
No. I refuse. Hey, somebody explain to me what back, sack, and crack is, because it sounds fun. Just find the exit. Logic, if I could find the exit, I would be done. I speedrun this game, and bam. I mean, although the first thing I did was killed myself, given the opportunities. It's probably not a very good start for me. He was saying stuff before when I was just, like, loitering in that one room. But now I'm just, like, standing here and he's not saying shit. Drugs kid. I mean, if you want to do drugs, maybe just not, you know, the really bad one. Also, hi, welcome in. Nice to see you. Wonder if SV... I don't know what that means. I have no idea what you're talking about. I guess I have to leave. Because, nothing is happening. I can't jump in this. Kind of obsessed. Don't be a kid if you're... Why? Kids can do drugs too. Children are allowed to do drugs. You can jump in the designated jumping zone. Oh, sick. So once I get there, I'm just never, ever gonna...
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying.
God damn it!
Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story
Game is a
would
little
make
different.
no sense at all.
It
We just
seems
need
a
to
little
get you
different.
home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Not the fun ones. Oh, so you're saying that children wouldn't be able to responsibly do drugs, and they also wouldn't be able to enjoy the fun ones? Is that what you're saying? Backsack crack is a Brazilian wax thing? Oh. That explains why I didn't know what it was. 'Cause I've never been waxed. Technically a sequel. It's a sequel to what? What is this a sequel to? Game licks your brain and then judges you on how dumb you taste. Well, this game is gonna have a lot of fun with me because I'm pretty fucking stupid. And I'm not ashamed to say it. So, okay, so there's a difference between the Stanley Parable and the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I'm confused. I haven't gotten to the sequel. Yeah, I just started. So, do not lie. If you're lying right now, stop. I'm never gonna stop lying ever in my life. I just wanted everyone. See, now I'm just confused. I don't know who Stanley is. I don't know what his
Almost there.
parable is.
You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
What about Corey Feldman? That little boy loves drugs. Yeah, exactly.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would.
Okay.
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
No! I don't want to, and you can't fucking make me. You want me to spoil what I meant by SV? No. I'm gonna say no because I don't want my first playthrough of this game to be... I haven't seen a broom closet yet. I have seen 0 broom closet. Okay, well, there... else I can't do anything. I mean, like, I can just stand down here, but then he doesn't find it. So do I have to go through the door on the left then? Is this like an unavoidable thing that like I must, because I don't want to. Another. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess like once I've gotten a little bit more, I don't know how long this game is, because again, I don't know anything about it. But maybe at a certain point. Get up off the ground and... Right now, yeah, but not... Fine. I'm very unhappy that I had to do that. Need a short nap, be back later. Okay, we'll see you later, Viscount. Enjoy your nap.
It's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work?
He's very dramatic.
What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Oh, well...
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you.
Yeah, you're stuck with me. We're friends now.
Clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny?
Sorry.
You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it.
Well, I'm not Stanley.
That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
I mean, I'm a little bit older than that, but...
My story... If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
Sure.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nope.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
You were super
he
early,
entered
Cheeks.
the door on his left.
You were so early. Also, I saw that you, like, gifted a sub in the chat when no one was there. Which I was very confused about. But thank you. Also, hi. How was work? They didn't say anything this time when I went. Okay, so I guess this is like the time before when
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means
You may have, I'm not sure.
And always putting the story first.
How many
I'm
times
quite
can I
sure
do
you'll be
this
up to
before
the
he
task.
just, like...
Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Well...
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly.
The actual
and
fuck, how am
always
I
putting
not
the
following
story
you?
first.
Hi.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task.
Hi.
Just follow my
I don't know
lead
how
and
you
you'll
were
be
following
fine.
me.
All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
An infinite amount of times?
entered
Is
the
it
door on
actually?
his left.
Could I just hypothetically continue going into that door forever and ever? And, like, it just doesn't advance the game at all. It doesn't do anything. It just keeps putting me back to this point. Because, like, if somebody doesn't tell me the truth, I will just keep doing it and we'll be stuck here all night. The Stanley parable never ends. One way to find out. Well, guess we're gonna keep doing it then. No one's telling me not to, so...
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Strap in, y'all.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and
Don't do
always
it,
putting the
no. I
story
can't tell if
first.
that's sarcastic
I'm
or
quite
not.
sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow
Stuck
my
with
lead
you all
and
night,
you'll be
Cam,
fine.
then. Alright,
All
well...
right.
It
When
might end
Stanley
out that
came
way,
to a
to
set
be
of
honest.
2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Fine.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Marketing Mondays. Termination Tuesdays. We're broke Wednesday. Mergers. Ranking Floor 5 meet. What to do about 432? Don't tell 432. The opposite of let's go, like, let's stay. Yeah, it's more like let's stay. Four, three, one. Teenagers. Size of demographic. Base between teenagers. The fuck? I think that's a stupid idea. Things, money, more things, but with money to buy more things. Scraps. Scraps about things. Money. Tips for not getting fired. Talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day, with no expectation of recognition. Don't get fired. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive aggressively. That's kind of true. That's how it usually. Albino standing straight up looks like. What? Oh, are you on the bus? You mean bus? Okay, well, a nice room, I guess. Oh, a broom closet. The broom closet doesn't open. I can't stay in it if it doesn't open. Okay, well, I tried. Unless there's a secret way. Was supposed to say okay. Do I just have to try really hard to open? R. Kelly is in there? Yeah. But that's why they wrote the song Trapped in the Closet, because R. Kelly was trapped in the broom closet on another pass-through. Okay, that's assuming I get another pass-through.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Well, I can't go downstairs, so I guess I fucking have to. Don't keep me on. How come none of these doors open? I want doors open all the time. This should just be called Shit's Locked. The beige pages. Business time. I like that. Okay.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
I am the
Shocked,
most expensive
unraveled,
boss.
Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath.
There's
and
like
then
a
spoke
panda
the
with a
code.
gun pointed at it. What am I doing? Oh, do you have to say the
Stanley
thing?
spoke the code. Nightshark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right
But I
there
don't want
on
to.
the wall.
You can't make me. I like making the narrator get really.
I'm sorry, is there a
Shoots
problem? You
and
didn't
leaves.
mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step. Okay, fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one
Okay, we'll see
single
you
thing for your
soon.
respect.
Be safe
The
boarding
kind of
home.
respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here?
'Cause you
had
wouldn't
a
let me go
choice, you
anywhere
know.
else.
You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why
I
did you
did.
come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you...
What the
Is everything
dicks?
okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door.
What the fuck?
Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you.
I
to make a
beat the
decision.
game.
It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice
Speed
you make
run,
is just
38
fine.
minutes.
Correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that
Right?
step forward, please.
What a baby game
Choose.
that I totally just won. This
something.
could not possibly go any other.
This is more important than you can ever know.
Upset narrator percent. That's what I want all games to be.
So, you hear me? Are you there? You listening?
Look, I'm
to
just
this?
standing there.
Stanley, are you there?
okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
There's like 30 different endings. I forget which one this is. Oh, hey, you won. Yeah, I won. Speed run, baby.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So, okay, but like, all the stuff that I fuck up,
When Stanley came to a
still
set of
there?
2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Dropping this off here and now back to work I go. You didn't have to do that. Why'd you do that?
The lounge was sublime.
Why are you giving me
a
money?
Work of art. What, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his
You
left.
crazy. Okay, good. Nope. Different
Stanley
pass
was
through.
so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired yet.
There's no one better to support. No, I don't know if that's like you throwing shade at me. There's another branch point and I can't get in here. Or did you mean the room to the left? Back where the two... Also, so like if the game ends and then it restarts on me, then everything is just reset. Jump off the thing on the platform. I did that once already, but I'll do it again. Wah!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no
Okay,
one gets
Fresh.
to tell him what to do,
Cook
Stanley
safely,
leapt
don't
from
start
the
any fires,
platform
please.
and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. All of his co-workers were
Second
gone.
time I've
What
died.
could it mean? Stanley
Onto the
decided to go
platform?
to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, when the elevator's halfway up.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No.
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley
No.
but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh, so do you mean like that platform? For the door? Yeah, that must be.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing. What? Really? I was in the middle of
Thought I was
something.
gonna
You have
fall again.
Zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Danger
Give me a
everywhere.
chance.
Like danger. Okay. Do not stand on this side of the fence. Well, too late.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
I think I will go.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood.
No, I didn't
Stanley
misunderstand.
walked through the red door.
It's fine. I went
I
through.
still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
No. I like blue.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to
Yeah,
find
kind of.
out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Thanks, bro.
You
Being
see?
like really
There's
supportive.
nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place.
Oh.
Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think
Hey.
I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see.
Yeah, kind
Help
of.
me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees?
Titties?
Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far.
Titties.
Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback.
Okay.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go
Okay.
ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Feeling like. Hey, but now he wants me to go in that door. So, like, should I just go? Should I go through the door on the left and not do what he's telling me to do? Because now I'm very curious about this door specifically. But I feel like it would be a lot funnier if I just finally went left. You know what I'm saying? This is a hard decision. It's a hard choice. Yeah, left. Roll a d20. I don't know where mine are,
Okay,
or else I totally
I'm going
would.
to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1?
I'm
That's
being
not
so
even
rude to this
helpful.
guy.
What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to
Okay.
be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
He is a pretty good voice actor. I'm not. Oh, there's a leaderboard now? Hell yeah. Good old Neil. Skid. A dead rat. Oh, that's me. Compete against others to 9,300. Telling me I have no friends. Okay, which door should I go through this time? God damn it!
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Nah, kinda sucked, bro.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Okay.
In this game, the baby crawls left
Oh!
towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly
Y'all know
confronting
what's
the
gonna happen.
demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice.
Y'all know.
But of course,
Y'all
the
know
message
what's
of the
about to
game
happen.
only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
4 hours of baby in the fire.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done.
You having fun?
It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable.
You're welcome.
Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain.
Okay.
Let's see. What do we have here?
Call of Duty?
Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
That was probably the best thing.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
Yo, the Slipknot S.
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man
Creepy
spying
man.
on innocent
What does that
civilians
say?
below you from up high in your creep tower. Perhaps for some
Oh, I like
sort of
this.
twisted, erotic purpose.
Okay.
Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley, and it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
You know, this just turned into a completely... I don't know what this is about. Lies for... buffs. Dr. President. Bro. I can crouch. But I always do that. Frustrating. Rags. Okay, okay. Oh, bro, can I kick those? Can't we go back to the part where I lit a fire? Because that was like...
Oh no. No, 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 it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
What?
Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go...
That baby was a boss fight.
Ooh.
Can you imagine?
Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's
Jonesy
find
way.
another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
I'm having fun here, though. This is a really nice game. I like playing it.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Gaps in these walls. Can I get... I want to see if I could go through the gap. Yo, what is this?
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind.
Like-
Just a nice big box for you to
It's
run
Rocket
around.
League.
There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this
I
is game design. Stanley,
do anything I
if
wanna
you
do.
manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's
Sports ball.
Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown
Weeble.
together.
Time to
Yes,
just slam
I
the
think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Bro. That's a pretty big ball. Yeah. Okay, I guess this is the new game.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun?
I did
Is
win.
it better than my miserable little...
Bye.
What are you doing?
It's fine. Oh no.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Okay. I don't know what I've gotten myself into. I'm mildly... One moment I was playing sports ball, and now I'm here. So many doors to... scared. Hey. Anybody else mildly terrified? I feel like I'm gonna get jump scared or something. I feel like it's now turning fucking like 5 nights. It's got backroom vibes. It does though. Like I'm actually scared that something bad is gonna happen to me.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice.
I am.
And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it.
I haven't.
He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me.
I don't.
Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back.
Oh, no, I'm sitting.
The end will be here soon. Very soon.
I feel like that was a
wait.
very vague threat. Vague, mild threat. So independent. I know. You know when Destiny's Child wrote that song about all the ladies independent? That was actually... Yeah, I can. Okay. I could do this the whole time and I didn't even know. What a dumbass.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Doesn't look the same. Good explanation. You know what? I tried my best.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the
Doing
correct
it.
way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Take right path.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further
Go down
off
the
track.
ladder.
So
There's
now,
a
in order
ladder.
to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Oh yeah, I took the other. I don't want to go left. What is with this game and left as the direction for everything all of the time content?
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Well played, you son of a bitch. No, it's left. Watch. It's gonna be left.
No, not the right. Why would
Told
I have
ya.
ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Tiny drywall squares. That's not how you do. This is how I do drywall. I don't know what you're talking about.
Down,
This is
right,
exactly
left,
what all of the holes
down,
that I punched through my
left,
walls look like right now.
Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This
Why I never
story
show
is
anybody the rest of
absolutely, definitely this way.
I'm gonna go in the... Oh. Incredibly... No, that's exactly how you do drywall. What are you talking about?
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
No.
Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
In reboots. Why do you have a grid of choice and studs through your house? It's because of all of the holes that I punched in.
Were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I drink a lot of Monster Energy drinks and I get really mad at my mom. You know how things happen sometimes. Yeah, what happens if I go back down there again?
When Stanley...
What?
Wait,
Why?
wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game.
No, there's too many doors.
Fresh.
There's too many.
Everything
I don't
should
like
be...
it.
Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
Hey.
Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here.
You think I can't punch through metal?
Okay, then. It's an adventure.
Strong.
Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Well, there's a lot of doors here. Which one do I go through? One do I like the look? That one's got stuff. I'm gonna go through this one. You're like, oh wait, different pass-through. You're confusing me now.
This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
It's my adventure, not your adventure.
I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again. But it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
I was having fun.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Getting real sick and tired of your bullshit. You don't think I can punch through metal? Well, just wait. Someone spilled their coffee. I hate Mondays. Hey, what's this? Guess we'll never know. Turned off your computer.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Okay. Sure.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
No.
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Thank you.
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
I feel like I did.
People win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
I feel like I put in the most work.
I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
Okay.
Just follow the line. How simple is that?
I mean, it seems like a good idea, but... no. Wait, but that's new! Can't do it. I gotta stick to what.
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Yeah, but hey! Yo, can I just, like, place all... Yes, no.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though,
Not realize
here's
this.
a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story
Is the
there?
Ultra
Or
Deluxe
to put it
10 years
another
old?
way, is the story of no destination still a story?
As
Simply
if so,
by the
yeah,
act
damn.
of moving
Fucking good.
forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
Let me
Now, we
out.
can both agree that the nature of existence
Let me
is
out.
in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence. right?
Subject you to an experience
Okay.
in a second.
Now, if
Stop.
my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience
The
of
original
this
has
office, is this
That's-
office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa.
You're just saying words that don't make
Got a
any
bit
sense
weird
now.
back there? Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
I don't like this. Take it away. This makes me actually want to go the way that you want me to go because I don't like this at all. Feels like a trombone champ song. It probably is. Let's be real. I could definitely see this being a trombone. Glory to the state. Ultra Deluxe is 22. Yeah, then this one isn't that old one. What the fuck was that? Don't love that. Please don't. Feels like I'm having a
Wait,
stroke.
cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
Okay.
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Cool. This. I'd sleep. I'm alert. Okay, well,
Wait,
thank you for coming in
we're back
fresh,
at
and
the
thank you for the
office?
sub, and I'm sure that I will see you
No,
guys after
no.
I'm done.
Line, you do know we're looking
Have
for the
fun with
Stanley parable,
gunfire.
right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
I've never looked. Burn. I did. I gave it a good hard look. You know, I felt like it really deserved the time, because you know, very beautiful. Not sure what happens now. I mean, anything is possible. Oh, we're back here again.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through,
I
you...
fucked that burn.
Oh,
Yeah, I
can't
fucking
take
did.
this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
But we were having so much fun.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us?
But-
We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story?
Well, that's what I was doing
Something
before, and you got mad at
exciting,
me for it.
Daring, mysterious. Ooh,
Idiot.
this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know.
Reboot. I wanted
How
to.
about this direction?
I wanted to see Hexadecimal. Bro, I had such a big crush on Hexadecimal when I was a kid.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
I want it to be clowns. I want it to be like I'm inside of a clown car and there's an orgy happening in the clown car. And I'm like terrified for my entire life. That's what I want the next part of this. Can you imagine if that's what actually happened? How great would that be? How the fuck did you get an Enzo emote? That's kind of terrifying.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story.
You put it there.
No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
It. Gavin Blair. Gifted subs, LOL. What do you mean gifted?
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From
So I go
here,
through the right door,
story's in
right?
our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Oh,
Okay.
that's weird.
So I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Oh no. The confusion ending.
Hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending?
The narrator is
And we're
gone
supposed to
after a
restart
long
the game
time.
with
Stanley
eight
dies.
times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined?
Okay, Mal. Well, I'll see you if you come
so
back.
now, according to the schedule, I
Don't come
restart
back,
again.
then.
Then what?
Like I
Am I
said, the
just supposed to
VOD
forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget?
after him.
My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The,
Oh,
whatever
I
it is
am
that
reading
made
it.
this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination.
Is it
so
though?
I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you... Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was
kind
it
of
a
freaked.
painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
The noise freaked me out.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna do the left or the...
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming
Aha,
to
I
the
can go
staircase,
down this time.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Fuck you.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he
Well,
might
Cat.
be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he
Broom
began
closet.
to make other
No.
strange observations.
What?
For example, why
Aw,
couldn't
fuck.
he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he
There's
went?
gotta be another, yeah,
And
there's
for
gotta
that
be another.
matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then
Oh, God.
he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun,
God, I'm in...
and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of
Wanna
them
get in the
all
car.
entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very
Silent
odd, and
Hill,
wondered if
Mommy!
this voice spoke to
Silent
all people
Hill!
in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself?
All I can
Believing
think
that
of
if
whenever
he's
somebody
asleep,
says Silent
he
Hill.
doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew
That's
for
what I was...
certain, beyond a doubt, that this was
The
in
rabbit
fact a
holes, my
dream.
brain goes
Did the
down in
voice not
anxiety
see him
mode.
float
It's
and
just,
make the
it's
magical
just you
stars
wandering
just a
around
moment
in
ago?
circles in your
How
own
else
brain
would the
while
voice
somebody's
explain
screaming.
all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want.
The pee on his leg.
I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Except it wasn't.
I am okay.
The poop in his pants. The pee on his leg. Actually gonna throw up my beer really quick, because now with you guys talking about that, I have to pee. So, hold on just... I'm back. It was time. I just couldn't hold it in anymore.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
You're holding it in can give you a bladder infection. Yeah, I definitely discuss that with you.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
I'm a real woman now.
She rose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this.
Amazing.
And in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She
Like,
had
I
no
hope they
time for
date.
this,
It said
so
that
it
he's
was
dead
only
now,
a
and you're
moment
like,
that she
I
stood
hope they
there,
date.
staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
I hope they date too. She kisses him, and then he wakes up and starts screaming. Oh, look, here we go
All the
again.
workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I do want to say, generally, I hate games that do that. Like, I think when I played the Blair Witch Project, I was already really disappointed because I had literally nothing to do with Witch, but like, at the end, you just keep going, or like, in circles, just around and around and around and around and around, and I started getting so angry, and I was just like, can the game just be done? Like, is this shit over? Because I was doing this for, like, probably a good, like, 30 minutes or something, and it was just the same fucking thing every time. Which, you know, I mean, this is kind of samey in that sense, but, like, this is at least interesting, but, like, yeah, usually if I was playing something like this, I would already have gone insane. Broom closet right after the meet. Okay. That means I have to go to the left, right?
When Stanley came to a set of two open
Yeah,
doors,
okay.
he entered the door on his left.
Oh yeah, you said after me.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Aha!
Stanley decided to go up
Ow!
to his boss's. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Nope. Approached by this bucket, actually.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be
Ooh, there's a
justified
wrench.
in some way.
What
As
about
it
these
is,
wrenches?
He's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Staple gun, duct tape, driver,
Are you really still in the broom
big
closet?
wrench,
Standing around doing nothing?
tire.
Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
There's like cardboard, big tube. There's a broom. There's like a
You
mop
do
bucket.
realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If
Pretty
I said
sick.
Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because
Bucket here, you
literally,
gotta
this closet
pick up
is
for
of
million bucket-
absolutely
million
no
bucket
significance
ending.
to the story whatsoever. I never would have
Here's a
thought
quick
to mention
question. Sorry, here's a quick question, Mal. How do you know when you're done the game? Or at least, like, when you're done a singular playthrough? Because I've only got, like, the endings.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That
Wow.
or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
I mean...
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of. before it
Stanley
begins to
sounds like he fucks.
decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens
Definitely.
to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
I don't think I will, sir. I would love to hear you talk about how fat and stupid I am and how I'm addicted to drugs and hookers. Or is he not going to do it? It resets game fully if you haven't gotten to this. Yeah, but how do you know when you got to this? Like, that's my question. Because I've just been, it's been like resetting and resetting and resetting and resetting. But how do I know when I've actually beat? Or do I know? Or do I just never know? I have to leave.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Yeah, I can.
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look,
What is it?
you can hammer out the
I don't know.
details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
So if I leave again, can I come back in? Guess that's it. Not gonna do.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Nope.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had
Okay.
vanished. His boss would think he was crazy.
Watch out.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh my
Doors
god.
close automatically behind him wherever
Oh
he
my
goes.
god.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to
They're all
himself,
very good
this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring
I'm gonna do the
real-life
exact
job
same
pushing
things.
buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too
Ah,
appeared.
Silent Hill
It was
again.
so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was
I
he
did do
remaining
this ending.
so
I just wondered
lucid?
if it would change at
And
all
then
if
perhaps
I...
the strangest question of
I
them
went down
all
the stairs
entered
again.
Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being
Okay, I'm gonna
considered
die
by
a moment.
Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this
I'll
was
just
not a dream.
stand here.
How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been
Ah, my
in
leg.
his life.
Ah.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
By
Did the
this
voice
car.
not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago?
No
How
wonder
else
yours
would the
came
voice
later in
explain all
life, son.
that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket.
Feeling
on his
that
skin,
pee on his leg again,
the
everyone.
press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife
Next time, go
and my
up
job.
the stairs.
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
But we're not okay. We're having a mental breakdown.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me.
Oh yeah,
I'm
that's
real.
true. If I look
must
down,
be
I don't
real.
have
I
feet,
must be.
so...
Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
The pee was warm and inviting.
Because I know
This is the story of a woman
somewhere
named Mariella.
deep down in my heart,
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed,
I still
did her
love
belongings,
you.
and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming. She would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, it took a few brief moments for her to
Are you proud of yourself for
she thought to herself
doing
how
the sound
lucky
clip
she
and then
was to be normal.
responding?
I am sane.
I feel like you are.
I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this.
Little bit?
And
Yeah,
in a
thought so.
certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people
You can
whose
surf on that.
impressions of her would affect
You can
her
surf on that
career,
cry and become
by
an island boy.
extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay, this time I'll go up.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
I may
he
have
entered the
timed
door
some
on
of
his
these,
left.
or like made it so that you can't spam them, because I remember very clearly when I was playing Vampire the Masquerade, you guys did that one voice clip like fucking 10 times in a row, and I just started jumping off of the thing I was on and killing myself multiple times.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to... Oh no, no, nothing. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room.
Clearly, I'm
Please
jerking
take
off.
your time.
I'm jerking off with the back of my own kneecap, and that's what I'm doing. Don't question it. I'm glad you remember that. I also had to take Dayman off of this entirely. There may still be one version, but like I had to like remove that because people were spamming it constantly. Whatever, I'll leave.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Whatever. Executive bathroom? Can I take an executive crap? To be rich, is it a crime? To crimes. What a life it would be. Extreme bathroom. Nothing has to... Guess I'm a vampire, I can. Ooh. Indoors monthly. Craps. Let's do. Hello, Ninja. I don't remember taking the answer. It was there, so... God, this game makes... Well, we're going up in this elevator. You would love the narrator humming along. Like, this is the kind of shit that you do. Without music even playing. It's baby making music. I don't know about that. Hey, no. I know. secretly why I don't want to move in with you, because I just don't know if I can handle it. Is there a correlation between mental illness and humming? I love to hum and also want to die. Maybe.
Nothing like Mellotron.
So you just go in the elevator and you press the button and it just does that? But you never go anywhere? Gag me. I don't even know if that would work. What if this was just the string? Well, I mean, like, that was fun, but...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Fine.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I'll get fucking wild in the chat right now. Or I feel.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now?
Why am I
When
not
for
getting
years,
wild
it
in
had
this?
never occurred to him.
When have I ever?
This question would not go unanswered.
When
for
have I
long.
literally ever gotten wild on stream?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Copy.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh my god, can I go any faster?
The
Violent
door
death
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Oh, thank you.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
It's like giving birth. I just... Yeah, okay.
As the
Man, I
machine
thought this said
whirred
I
into
was gonna
motion
die.
And Stanley was inched closer and
Oh.
closer to his demise.
I'm gonna get smushed.
It reflected that his life had been of no
Gaga.
consequence
Hello, short.
whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture.
How's it going?
He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Bye-bye.
Farewell, Stanley,
bad.
cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
But alright.
In a
We're
single
trying this game.
visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Why is this game lying to me? I was like all excited to.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Fuck you, computers. Tell me. And here I was hooked. Yeah, I tried playing solitaire and it.
Stanley stood on the snow. Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor
I can't. Up here. Solitaire. Oh, you're so funny.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
Music on your intro
No,
video on your
perhaps
Twitch page
not.
makes.
Sometimes
Okay.
these things
What?
cannot be seen.
Talking about intro.
But listen to me. You can
mean
still
like my
save those
screens?
two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Finally died. I really.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Oh yeah, new content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Yes, we'll see. I'll flip it.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please Step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Wow.
All right.
Content.
Let's see. It's the
Oh,
jump
yeah.
circle.
Ninja, chill, relax.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
I mean, I don't really have a choice, do I?
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Wait, is it his paint? Better not be a dick.
Okay, You remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parables
Get your
used to be.
parables in
So
order.
I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
That was
Just
a good
our
one.
little secret. Take a look.
No, Ninja, actually, I don't like peanuts at all. Hate them.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Don't like scissoring either, sorry.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity.
Wow.
Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Go outside, don't play first.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I
Peter.
quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games
Got
end
him,
up less
Peter.
than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever
Thanks for
created."
the bet.
Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3.
Don't say
it was all
Persona
of them.
3.
And
How
now,
dare you?
it's nothing. It's no games at all.
That's upsetting.
It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Thank you, Short Amigo, for the bits. I really don't understand what hype trains mean. I've never understood. Top 10 memories from Terrible.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most
Because I
enjoyable,
know
surprising, and rewarding
somewhere
choices I've
deep
ever
down
been
in my
confronted with in a
heart.
game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It
I
didn't need
still
anything else.
love
It
you.
didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the
Thanks.
Cause I'm an island boy and I've been trying to make. Oh, I'm an island boy.
The microphone is close to my mouth. Again, I've said this so many times before. In OBS, my microphone is like maxed out. And like my actual volume setting on my microphone is maxed out. So I don't know why everyone says that it's so quiet. No, it's fine, Malcolm. What am I doing? Fuck, I want to go in the series.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at
I think I'm honestly just gonna turn sound alert for everything, forever.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Well, as you'll recall, Ninja, I did take away the It's Always Sunny in Philly one.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure, like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
It's not about making you suffer, it's just I asked you not to be super obnoxious with it. You didn't listen, so what else was I supposed to do?
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means
Stanley
to strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
I wonder if they're actual.
And here
Yes,
it
probably.
is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant drone... Oh, you're back, you see? You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of...
Do it again?
Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. Oh,
This seems fine.
hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret.
Regret more. Heart is very. It seems fun, except I don't want to listen to it. Monkey's. Oh. I guess he just gone now.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, "Ent."
Hey.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Exactly. Sick remix. DJ Khaled. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Whoops. God damn. How much time has passed now? I don't know. I'm guessing a lot, because, you know. Considering. All the time. Apparently. What the fuck? Where are my plants gone? Not a great noise. That's a. You didn't want her shit, lady. Now you're ready. No more button? Cool. Guess I'll just walk that way. So peaceful. Kind of died, but oh. What do you mean you kind of died? What happened? Did you fall off the board?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content. You mean you had to go to the ER? What happened?
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
That's very concerning. Are you okay? Are you good? Really missed. How did you mess up your back? Ew. Like fall? Did you throw it back?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this
Carrying around all
Deluxe
this love and
version has
attention.
turned out to be.
Aw.
The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new
Aw.
content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe
No, but actually, what did you
nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Got hit by somebody not paying attention. Why would you redeem a stretch? I hate stretching. Well, I'm glad you're okay. That's what you named your guitar. I've always wondered if people name their guitars. I think you're the only person I... Yep, bucket from broom closet after it starts again. Okay. I'll try and remember that.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities.
Testing
It
two
could go in
printers at the
so
same
many
time.
different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Oh, you eat many. Taste this.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Ugh. Well, I hope that you don't have to go back and have it, because that would be probably full and not.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite
I'm sorry to
nailed
hear that
down
that
what
happened.
exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely
think he said
organize
artistic.
a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Hey.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
A button
For
that
the
says
Stanley
the name
Parable
of the player
2,
that is
I
playing
asked
the game.
myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim.
Oh my god,
But of course,
I'm
in the
Jim.
final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself...
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim.
Jim.
All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on? See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name, the button says. But no. Instead, oh, I can't even think about it. I'm taking the Jim button away.
Aw. No! That was like the second best part of the game. The first best part of the game so far has still been the baby on fire. Gotta go to the gym. Like how you're casually off. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to casually flip you off. Or maybe I'm lying and I absolutely...
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes.
Sure.
Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Maybe the baby's name is Jim. It is now. Infinite hole use. I want a baby name.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
But I want it now. I gotta go find Infinite Hole. Actually, Bruce. Why Bruce? Gives awkward looks in the camera like The Office.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Hole. Infinite Hole is what I call my butt. Kind of is like an infinite hole, though.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right.
Okay, I'm in.
Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for You see? Isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then,
Infinite
since
hole
you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Kinda cool just doing this.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I
Bruce
do
is
recommend
perfect.
you
It's
use
short
the
for Brucey
teleport
from
button to
Finding
go
Nemo,
back
and
to
it's
the
also
top.
new. Well, that's
Do
fair.
it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
No, I just want to keep going. He's so pushy, like, he's always trying to tell me what to do.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is
Oh,
it
I'm
bigger
falling
than a
down.
deep
I
hole?
just wanted to look at
Is that
the little pinprick
It's an
of light and see if
extremely
it
deep
disappears.
hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one
The
perspective,
depth of my
the
anus.
infinite
Is this how deep
merely
your anus is,
philosophical in
Logic?
nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look,
Eating
I
at 2
think
p.m.
the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling.
They've been smoking down
What
her.
normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually
Just
need.
the two of
Don't you
us.
put
We
this
can
on
make it
me.
if we try.
Maybe you're
Just
the
the-
problem.
I like that.
Look,
That's cute.
things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things.
Have to
that
go a
didn't
little
mean.
longer.
Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree?
So what
to
you're
just
telling me
call
is
the whole mostly
Like, your asshole is
infinite.
deeper than this.
If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when
Let
you're
me.
ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
If I did that again.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal, but A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time.
The problem
Don't need
is
to
that
see
you
it
like
all,
holes.
but not you. Oh, no, no,
I
no,
do
no.
like holes.
You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less
This game
time
is
in
calling
there
me
than you
out
did
for liking
before.
holes.
I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled.
No, actually, I haven't.
You really do have so much more. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where...
Slapping rock into the...
Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing.
You would make a
What's
goatsy
going on
joke.
here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Oh, so now you
Well,
want
there it
me to
is.
get...
The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Pressing not working.
Is the, teleport button not working?
It is the best time to come back, Visco.
Well,
You're
I mean,
right.
I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
Oh no, I'm trapped in the hole.
Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to
I
fix
am
this.
stuck in
I'm
a...
out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
We will. I'm going to enjoy being in the hole for the rest of eternity, actually. Yeah, nobody can take my hole away from me. I mean, like, anytime that they tell me not to do something in the game, I'm just gonna keep doing it. Oh my god. This is magical. Just imagine this is what it was like every time you entered a hole. Oh my god, I can change my perspective. Whoa! What the fuck? Why is he so ugly? Oh, wait. Kinda like this one.
My head's stronger. You're no longer using up this space of mine. My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up this space of mine. My head's stronger.
wanted to go back to red. That's red enough. What is that? Am I just upside down? Oh my god, I am. I mean...
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland.
I was having a lot of fun with that. What the fuck?
Because this hole is just so darn
Face will-
fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it.
Oh my god.
I don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole?
I do need to focus on
From
the
the
hole.
looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole.
Okay, can I do
I'm
that
looking
again, though?
forward
It was
to all
actually
of
really
it.
fun.
Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle pip.
Can I go back? Back. Damn it! I lied. I think that was actually my favorite part of this game. That is probably the most ridiculous bullshit.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Reassurance bucket. Bucket? Did I ever play the demo? No, I didn't.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
No, I never played the demo. I never played the actual normal original game, whatever you call it. The button that... Yeah, no, I never played, never played the first one, I never played the demo, and... I think the only real experience that I had with this was, like, at one point I might have watched, like, a tiny bit, like, someone, like, by playing it, but, like,
A common
I
complaint
didn't
of
play.
the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless
bucket.
despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've
no bucket.
engineered a clever solution
But
to
there's
this
no
fundamental
bucket.
problem with the game. It's the Stanley
Oh.
Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution.
Have a good night. I hope
Come
that you
on,
feel better.
Give it a try.
Hope that you have to get... Thank you for watching. Mwah.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact,
Well, I'm just
can I
saying.
say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Well, I have a bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already. Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Get Well Someday is probably... Oh. Oh. Oh my god, it says Happy 12th Birthday Stepniece? Hell yeah.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Son of a bitch. Why even ask me my opinion then, you motherfucker?
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No.
Yeah, you should have.
No,
You should have.
I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Now he's playing like... He is. Hello, Crab. How are you doing? Select them all. Okay.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life. God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
I think I've done everything.
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
No, I mean, like, well, back there I thought it...
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as well.
Yeah, sorry. I was talking about I looked at all of the things in that big room. What I meant.
One single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay, are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go, version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than...
I'm sure that there is a lot of stuff that, like, I wouldn't know about because I didn't play the first game. But that's why I guess you have to do multiple playthroughs to get all of the endings. Yeah, no, they definitely need more of the infinite hole because that was by far
the first game. I wanted fans to
that
love
that
it.
actually
No
kind
how
of
good
beats
these
out
gags are, they
the
won't
baby
stand on their
on
own.
fire.
They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, Insert a few of my new features into it, tastefully, of course, with respect, with care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could, but it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2."
Oh, I just let the baby go on fire.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look. This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in.
Bucket and broom closet now.
Though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single...
So is this just doing the same thing mostly all over again, or like...
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find out. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I'd never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it. Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Maybe the bucket likes being degraded. How do we...
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Do I get more stickers if I just...
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
How did it sound? Walking away. Elliot Gould, that's who Stanley looked like. It's been driving me crazy since the segment. There. My cat's like wandering around me and I think I need to feed my cats. I also really have to pee. Let me do the BRB screen again real quick. Apparently my cat just wanted me to go over and watch her eat for a second, because cats. Windows 9, it's Windows 95, come on. Just kidding. Boop.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Unlocking memories I don't. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money, Chris.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
I just
Crushed
pissed.
by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk.
Yeah, I did. I came right over to it.
Simply being near the bucket, did he have any notion
this is your
that the
piss
pin number
bucket
for the keypad was
You know, like, as a streamer, I firmly believe that I probably Sorry, Mike.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Got it.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Like SpongeBob's chum bucket, but full of cum.
Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Playing COD, so I have no audio, but I'll be... Well, like, I would say thanks, but I guess they can't hear it.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs?
Haven't bought this game as in...
Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like
Stanley
that.
Parable?
Another Stanlerine under your belt.
I have it because my friend was nice to buy it for me. Wanted to stream it.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him,
Heavy
comforting
emphasis
him,
on this bucket.
reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Why not?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Since I didn't do this last time. All the way up there.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley
Fired.
nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears.
How the
as
bucket is
Stanley
just becoming
cradled
its
it
own
gently,
person.
reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble
Do I like
mind.
weird TV? Depends on what you call weird. I mean, I am a big fan of like Tim and Eric Awesome Show, Great Job, and Wonder Shows in and stuff like that, if that's what you... But I guess you would have to be more specific. The question is if you enjoy TV. Maybe not deep.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
You have fun putting Mr. Man to bed. Heard of the Prisoner TV series back in the early
But
70s?
here was the
No, I
proof.
have not.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
first episode starting, you can find it. Alright, fair enough. I'll give it a shot. Sassy bucket, you. I know, right?
When at last they came to the source of the room's...
I guess I should have maybe listened to that before just hitting the button, huh?
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes.
The
they had
sassy
done
bucket
it.
be a pail.
Stanley and the bucket
Maybe.
had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip
Isn't a
of
pail
the
just
evil
another word for
mind-control
bucket?
machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on earth.
Fuck.
Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
Guess not.
An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty. Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket.
Why don't you just throw it? Just throw it out the door.
No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have
That's a
my
lie.
bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out. Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
Not taking the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do. Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know how I did that the first time without...
Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
I did.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Probably gonna miss it again,
Perhaps he
I'm
wanted
not
to
gonna
stop
lie.
by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley,
I don't know if
think
you're supposed to do
perhaps
it
we've
like
gotten off on the
forward, but
wrong
last time I
foot
did it off to
here.
the side. And
I'm not your enemy, really,
either.
I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Almost
Are you
fell
that
again.
convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do
I just really
want
want to
help
see if
you,
I can do the
to
baby
show
on
you
fire
something
thing.
beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley.
Thank you.
You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Happy? Want to play the game? Call this the Beatrice Parable from now on?
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
My desk.
A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one.
Like, sitting on my lap, but her claws are just, like, digging in. Hurts so much.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game,
oh hell yeah, we back, baby!
Towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of
Want to see a baby
family
get lit
life.
on fire?
I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
4-hour baby stream. Oh.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try.
Why would I want to save the baby?
I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here?
What are you doing?
Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
That baby has done nothing for no one.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
Hey. Don't get tangled.
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems
stop
there's even
headbutting
more.
the desk.
Come, let's
Getting your
venture
spit.
outward and see what else is out
Kind
there.
of nasty. Fantastic. And not painful at all. By which I mean my cat digging claws into my...
No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
No!
Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that
Close.
thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Good, are you like malfunction? My cat's sitting there and she just has her head like this.
See, this is exactly what I
That's
had in
not
mind.
moving.
Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design.
No, it's okay. I know
If you
exactly.
manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun. Hold on. What are you doing?
Yeah, the Rocket League.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Don't chew my cord. You're gonna electrocute yourself. Am I drinking? It's Diet Coke and I have water. I had a beer.
I wonder what he found.
Come here.
If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end.
I don't know, man.
To
I don't
make
know how
sense
she
out
would
of
be
the
with other
chaos
cats.
and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am.
That's it.
That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes.
Done?
Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way.
Thanks.
Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very
Covered in
soon.
cat hair.
I can wait.
Cat hair and nasty. Ugh. He usually doesn't want to sit.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Oh, nice.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh. LOL looks like 427. Ha ha ha. Press the. What?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an
I don't remember the
indication
code.
of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't
2845.
healthy. So he relaxed for a few moments.
Although I'm sure
with
there's some
calming New Age music.
amount of lags. No.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
The fuck?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Cash me outside, how about that?
The lights rose on an enormous
Well, I'm
room
hoping
packed
that's
with
what happens now that I don't have
television
a
screens.
fucking bucket
What
with me.
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought
But
to
I can
himself.
actually.
Did he have the strength
But I can-
to find out?
Oop.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers.
How dare you?
The lives of so many
You and that
individuals
bucket were in
reduced
love.
to images on a screen, and Stanley,
Sometimes you
one of
gotta
them,
make hard choices in
eternally
life.
monitored in
Oh,
this
the bucket
place
and I are
where
really
freedom
wasn't
meant
going
nothing.
well, and we had the.
This mind
So close.
control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't
But it's
accept
true.
it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire
hard
life
to
utterly
uptrade.
blind to the
Entirely
world?
right.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation.
The hardest one that I've ever had to
Controls
make was
labeled with
forcing
emotions.
my bucket.
Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery...
Bip. Like, I don't even listen to anything he says. I'm just like, nah, I'm turning it off. Bye. What if it just keeps restarting me because I'm not turning it on? I would be...
Blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty.
That would suck.
Was it over?
Knowing this fucking game, probably not.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command.
Oh, you're gonna talk for like
Freedom
10
was
minutes,
mere
and you're not gonna let
moments
me go
away.
outside. Don't lie to
And
me.
yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
It was
What
just the
other
rapture.
mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
And let God and...
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his
What am
skin,
I letting God do?
the feeling of liberation,
Jesus taking the wheel? Like...
the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Wow. Said I beat the game. Except I didn't beat the game, did I? If I beat the game, why? Ego and
Someone
key
was
God.
following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
I just walked backwards. Yeah. Yeah.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You said someone was following me. Walk backwards. I'm in bed and half-assing my...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Do I just have to walk backwards the whole fucking time? Where's this person who...
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
I didn't see fucking shit.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I turn it on this time. Let's try turning it on, and then I think I'm gonna be done with...
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Trying to look behind me to see.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be
Megabyte.
true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason
Maybe.
he was happy with his boring job? That his
Maybe.
emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Maybe.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't
Excellent.
accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible?
Anything
Had
is
he truly
possible.
spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating,
Why can't I press
working. All of it
this button
monitored
and have
and
anything
commanded
happen?
from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Huh. So dark. I guess there's other stuff that I have to do to unlock being go up the. Just.
And when at last he found the source of the room... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these
Maybe.
years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off
Stanley is my.
and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much
This is
better
pretty
than
cool.
that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification,
Did I do
nuclear
that?
detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
I don't know what these
A
buttons
moment
are.
of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the
think I'm
control
just gonna
wrested
explode.
away from you, it's quite rich. I almost
I don't
hate
know
to
what you're
see
really
it
supposed to
go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go around will be even
I don't see a
better.
zero button.
My goodness, only 34 seconds left.
Yeah, blow me
But
up,
I'm
boss.
enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
I'm cool to just.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room
Hey.
is capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Problem solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm just gonna all these buttons.
You're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead
Spent
of
so many
watching a
hours trying to
cutscene
solve this
because I
one.
want to watch you for every moment. that
I
you're
was just
powerless
assuming that there
to
was
see
no
you made
no way to do it.
This is
Aw.
not a challenge. It's a tragedy.
I just like pushing
you
all the
wanted to
buttons.
control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first. So
Okay,
you
blow it up
can't.
then.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing.
Zoomed
No
correctly.
ending, just you being blown to pieces. Will you
I just
cling
like being able to
desperately
press
your
the
frail
button.
life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice.
Go all the
Make
way
it
up here.
Or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in.
I don't
until
like the
moment
jittery
I
screen.
say, happily ever after.
Stunning me. I blow it up. And I guess that was cool. Start again.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I've been playing this for almost 3.5 hours. I also have to work tomorrow, and I do have to be up somewhat early. I was in the first game. There might be a... I don't know. Again, because I didn't play the first one, like, I'm sure that there's probably stuff that I may be... or, like, little things that I may be missing, but... I don't know. It's a fun game. I think for me personally, it's just confusing because, like, you know, you get an achievement, like, you beat the game, but then it just restarts you, and, like, I get that there's a bunch of endings and stuff like that, but I guess because it's not definite, kind of leaves, I don't know if I'm doing one of those looping, kind of like, okay. It is fun. I don't think you now. Maybe I'll play it again sometime. I might, like, look up some stuff about it just because I kind of feel like I don't know exactly what the game has. One of the weird, I mean, I'm sure it does. I'm kind of surprised that I didn't get an achievement, like, lighting a baby on fire, to be honest with you, but I'm sure that if I went and I looked through the but yeah, that was the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. That's all I'm gonna play of it for now. I'm sorry, again, I don't know why the mic keeps cutting out. It's right there. It's honestly, for me, it's at max volume on OBS and physically, so I don't know. But one of my friends who doesn't stream very often is actually streaming tonight, so I'm gonna raid them. Because I never ever see them streaming. Thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate all of you. And I will be back tomorrow doing something. I think it's BioShock tomorrow. I can't remember. Yeah. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Love you all. Mwah. And hang tight and I'll set up a raid.